So let me go into the most important question that everybody asking. I guess it's a question about exchanges and kind of talk about this. So you can understand what is our thinking and reasoning on what we're doing. So you can understand 1World position. So I want to, first of all, go through a few considerations that I want to share with you. First and foremost, we enabled a quick solution back in December. And I think that would be something that many people would accept because they either have a small lot of tokens or they not necessarily want to wait for the higher price and willing to do it now. So for those folks, EitherDelta was our first more like pilot place to trade 1World tokens. And even though unfortunately there was a hiccup and the service was interrupted in December after they got under attack with the DNS situation, but now it's back to normal, and I believe it's working reliably for the last few weeks. So that's definitely an option as a temporary fix. Plus, we believe that many people actually in our community already did direct deals, and that means that people just selling and buying tokens directly to other participants that they know. Okay, so that's something our reality as of right now. The interesting fact that you probably registered is 95% of our token holders are definitely HODL type of people because they are strategic partners and they understand why and how they're going to use tokens inside of our system going forward. And so they're not definitely like looking for any exchanges and never asking these questions. Of course, they understand that it's going to happen sooner or later, but that's not really the major concern. Okay. Next one is that I'll give you more details, but we have more like scientific or more systematic, I should say, approach to selecting the exchanges and trying to maximize the outcome of going to exchanges. Because going there prematurely is not necessarily going to do any good for the company and not necessarily any good for our equity investors and token holders, because it might cause just normal decrease, right, that we see in many other majority of other ICOs. That's why we want to actually develop our story in not only on the product side, but more on the PR and the market awareness. But again, let's be clear. We are all about long-term vision and long-term execution to build a super high quality and become a leader in the space. And if you look at my background, that's pretty much what I did in the previous companies. First in the broadband deployment in the US, when my customer was AT&T, and we became #1 residential gateway in the country. And then in the smart home space in IoT, when I was working mostly for Verizon, and we launched the first smart home solution, and we supported 4G mobile launch with the supplemental applications. So going after big markets with big partners is essentially my recipe for success, and I want to implement it in this company as well. So small profits on small volumes, of course, we totally respect it, and we understand the people who want to do it. But just please keep in mind that one leads to another. The big success always will help everybody. Doesn't matter how big is the lot of tokens and what is the people have in mind in terms of their investment or just use of their funds strategy. And finally, what I want to say is that 1World follows the best practices. If you look at the good examples out there, not many companies are in a rush to get listed quickly, unless they have tremendous budgets for promotions and they want to do it for some political reasons. Most of them actually don't do it earlier than 3 months. And I see not only US, but also European and Asian companies like Singapore and Switzerland and the UK that do not rush with their listings. They rather do the due diligence, they find good deals, and then they go. So with all of that said, let me summarize our plan. So we believe that for now, anybody who wants to just sell and buy quickly can go to EitherDelta. It works, it's operational, and our team members can give you advice on technical details anytime in our support channels. So Leonard and Suraj and other folks that are part of support team, they can definitely give you more support if you have any questions. And what we can commit to you is that by the end of February, we're going to have at least 1 or maybe 2 small exchanges. We already have 3 candidates that are interested. Now we're just going through due diligence process and making sure that we have everything aligned properly. And of course, the market development is part of the preparation. And one of them is actually in India. So I understand that it's very important for our audience on this call specifically. So we, MLG blockchain specifically recommended us to some Indian exchange, and we're going to work with them. And sorry that I'm not revealing any names, but this is part of the best practices. So we would rather not to set expectations and then not meet them. So please understand it and let us just do our job, do the preparation, do execution, and we're going to bring these exchanges to you. It's just a matter of doing the right things in the right order. And as for the big ones, as you all know, it takes not days, but weeks to qualify for them, given the situation. Well, the good news is we have two that are already willing to list 1World, but it's just a matter of price versus quality versus what kind of services they provide in. So now we want to be smart and see what services can be done by MLG blockchain to promote our solution and our internal team, which will be expanded, before we decide how much money we're going to spend on the exchanges. As you all know, it's not just about trading, it's also about promotions, it's all about supplemental services that they provide. And at the end of the day, is a price tag. Of course, the best exchanges out there, they're not cheap. Okay? I hope we answered your questions and concerns. And please give us some time to continue working really hard on product and business and report back to you next month. But of course, yeah, if something important will happen in between, we'll be happily sharing it in our communication channels. Thank you very much.